Hey guys, what's going on? InsidiousSwede back again here for another YouTube video, and welcome to a rare occurrence. I have my window open. If you guys didn't know, manga plus sunlight equals yellowed pages. Manga pages are not high quality, and so any form of sunlight, direct sunlight for any substantial amount of time, will yellow your pages. But the reason why I have my window open today is because I want to talk about something that doesn't make a lot of sense to have my tripod set up for the video. So I figured I'd open up the window, let a little bit of sunlight in here as it is a beautiful day outside, and talk about a very frequently asked question, which is, should I start collecting manga, or should you start collecting manga? Again, this is a question that I get quite frequently, especially on videos that are like my manga collection video. I get a lot of questions like that on there. Also on manga haul videos, I get that occasional question saying, hey, I'm new to manga, I'm new to anime, whatever, and they ask, would you recommend that I start collecting? And also, usually the question was followed up by, what should I start collecting? What kinds of series? So hopefully today I can answer a couple of those questions for you, as it is, again, a very frequently asked question. So let's take a step back from the window and take an overview of the collection again. So to give you guys a bit of background on myself and my history of collecting, it was in me since the very beginning. I would almost say in my DNA, because as a little kid I used to collect trains, believe it or not. Really young, I'd say 5 or 6 years old, I always liked having a ton of trains. From there, when I got a bit older, maybe about 8, 9, 10, it was Legos. I loved building Lego cities. I loved, messing around with them, creating new, kinds of worlds. I always found that very fascinating and fun. So Legos was a big part of my collecting habits at a young age. Then from there, I would say into middle school, it was video games and movies. And then of course, recently, over the past 5 or 6 years, it has been manga, comics, and anime. And as you can see, I've kind of found my main passion. I've always wanted to collect something. I've always enjoyed the aspect of collecting, and my love for manga made it the obvious choice. It's something that I've enjoyed doing for years. It's something that I plan to enjoy for years to come. But the question, still remains, should you start collecting manga? And if so, where? The short answer I always want to give is yes, you should collect manga if you love it. Now, nobody is telling you that you need to get, 100 volumes in, your first month and start off the right way, hit the ground running, so to speak, and end up with, 1,000 volumes like I'm sitting at over right now. That's not a requirement for a collection. A collection can be 5 volumes, it can be 10 volumes, it could be a single volume. The collection size has never mattered. And I feel like sometimes people get that, the word collection in their head, and they all of a sudden think it needs to be something great or spectacular, when really it should just reflect what you enjoy. So from there, I always say, yes, you should, but buy manga that you like. And, I always, this is a problem that I first got into. I have, maybe not so much anymore. I mean, if we take a look around the collection, I can't really point out anything that I regret buying anymore, which is great. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, for example, a series like Big Order, which I had never heard of before, but I saw the name on it and I realized it was done by the same creator as Future Diary, and all of a sudden I was, intrigued to get it, but I never did any background research on it. I never realized it was not gonna be so great. So, there's always an exception for me when I'm buying, as much manga as I do. But, I think really it comes down to, don't listen to everybody else or just buy something because it's popular. Buy something because you're going to enjoy it, or at least you have an idea about enjoying it. And I always say, again, the reason why I always emphasize starting a collection is because it helps support the industry. I am never ever going to recommend reading manga online on places that don't help the industry. I mean, if you're going to buy from a place like Viz Media online, digitally, that's one thing. But I'm talking about, the majority of people out there who only read manga online because when you do that, you're only hurting the industry that you love because you're not putting any money into it, and because of that, there's no benefit and sales are down and whatever the case may be. So yes, always buy manga, always start a collection for the sake of your interest in manga. And then from there, of course, the question is always, well, what should I start collecting? What series should I get? And there's always a right and wrong answer to this. You know, some people say, just try any series or, you know, something like that. I always say, don't quite do it so, you know, disregarding for what you should start reading. I would not recommend a Vinland Saga or a Vagabond or a Berserk for somebody just getting into manga. And I say that because there's a certain level of appreciation needed to get into a Berserk, a Vagabond, Vinland Saga, even, you know, other series like Monster. Just really don't try to rush into the best of the best right off the bat. Find a good entry point series. Quick recommendations here for the video. I can say easy. Dragon Ball, right here. This series, by far, could be one of your best bets in terms of getting into manga. It's an amazing series with so many likable characters. The story is easy to follow, and it's an absolute classic. You cannot go wrong with starting with a manga like Dragon Ball. Other series, perhaps, would be a Death Note kind of series. The manga that I started with, a series that I still love to this day, and it really helped me appreciate the sophistication of manga, which was something that I didn't really know there was ever going to be. Luckily, I found that out pretty early, because I feel like a lot of the stereotypes around manga are that they're for kids, or they're not intelligent, or they're just for fan service, when in actuality, that's not the case. There are a lot of titles out there that are very sophisticated, very smart, and I think sometimes that's lost on people, especially when you're not familiar with the industry. Another manga that's fantastic to start reading, right down here, as you can see, Bakuman, a brilliant series to start with. It's about writing and creating manga. You cannot go wrong with that. Even a series like Hikaru no Go. Really, it doesn't matter too much what series you start with, but I would never recommend jumping into a heavy hitter that really is a defining series for the entire industry. And yeah, I don't really know where else to take this video, guys. It's kind of a little bit spur of the moment for me. I hadn't uploaded in a few days and I wanted to get something out to you. And I know this question is asked a lot on my channel, you know, should I start collecting manga? So again, to kind of summarize, yes, you should if you like manga enough to be watching videos and reading it online and stuff like that. Always support the industry. This is something that I can't stress enough to people. If you're not supporting the industry by buying physical volumes or even digital volumes from first-party sources, you're only hurting the industry. And from there, what should I start reading? I know I have a lot of videos on my channel about, you know, manga for beginners, underrated manga, stuff like that. Always, I think those videos are for the person looking to start manga, looking to get into it, because there's a lot of series on there that are very good entry points for any new aspiring collector. So yeah, hopefully this answers that question for you guys. If I didn't, and you still have more questions for me, I am very good at responding to comments, so please, you know, feel free to leave a comment down below in the description, guys. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed. I'm InsidiousSwede, and until next time, take care.